All right, let's talk about the Caesar cipher. The Caesar cipher is where you take letters and just move them forward a couple spaces in the alphabet to scramble them. And so you can do that, but you have to understand how strings and bytes are stored in Go. So let's take a look at the Caesar one. All right. So I define a string variable by just giving it a name, colon, because it's a new object, and I set it equal to ABC. So now my key is going to be 3, which means move everything forward 3 bytes in the alphabet. So all I do is add to the ciphertext. I calculate the byte of C, which is going to be the ASCII code, and then I make a string from it. So I'm just adding to the ASCII characters. This is very much like the way you do it in a lot of other languages. So let me run this one. This is Caesar 1. Whoops. All right, so ABC, which is 41, 42, 43 in hexadecimal. Yeah, you add 3 to it, so it becomes 44, 45, 46, and that's DEF. And of course, this is a very simple program. In fact, let me just modify it again. If I was to go to later characters like XYZ, WXYZ, of course, those are going to wrap around and not do what they really should do. Let's try that one. And I've got to install it again, which is go install. All right, and now I run it. And now you see WXYZ, the W turned into Z, and the XYZ rolled over and turned into punctuation marks because it's just adding to the ASCII value. It's not really wrapping around to the A the way a classical Caesar cipher would. All right, and so there are a few challenges here to encrypt and decrypt without the key. And then I want to decrypt other kinds of files like images. So let's talk about reading and writing files in Go. Now here is an echo command that will just write ABC to a file called infile, and then I can make a program to read it. Now I've already done that. There is a file called infile here that is 3 bytes long. So if I look inside there with cat, it contains just ABC with no carriage return at the end. So let's look at the file 1, how to read a file in Go. All right, now you bring in the IO util library, and you just call read file on the name of your file. And of course, check to see if there's an error. If there's no error, then the data will include the contents of the file. You get the length of it. That tells you how many bytes there are. And now you can write it out. You just write out the data. And these, I think, are the permissions of the file you're creating. So this is just going to read contents from in file and write the exact same stuff back out to out file. So that is file 1. All right, let's run that. All right, so it read in 3 bytes and wrote out 3 bytes. So it read the in file, which we looked at, and it created the out file. So let's cat out file. And you see it is ABC. All right. Now we're going to encrypt a file with the Caesar cipher, and that's file 2. Program named file 2. All right. So it just combines the previous 2 programs. We read something called in file. Then we have a key, which is again just 3. And then we just calculate the out bytes, byte by byte. We take the byte value of the character that came in and add the key to it. And now we write that out. First, create an object named out that will include all the bytes in order. And then we write it out with one write operation here. All right. So that is file 2 or file 3? File 2, all right. And that's going to write to out file 2. So let me remove my old out file 2 just to make it look better. Out file 2, all right. And now run file 2. And let's cat the in file. That's just ABC. And if I cat the out file 2, that's DEF. So it added 3 and moved them forward. That's all. And of course, since it's reading from a file, I could do something like echo -n WXYZ append to in file. And now if I cat the in file, it's got that stuff in it. Well, I forgot to put a minus sign before the n, so it added an n in a space, which I didn't really intend, but that should be all right. And now if I run file 2 again, it should process that file with 10 bytes. And now if I look at the out file 2, looks like it failed somehow. I'm afraid the space might have done something bad. Let me just try it again. If I remove the out file 2, it might not be able to write into a file that exists. Let's run it again. Nope. Okay. Probably something about that space fouled it up. Let me just fix that while I'm at it. I'll nano in file and get rid of those extra characters that I think caused the problem. Okay. And now let's try running file 2. Nope. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to struggle with it. Let's go on. Then you can decrypt a text file without the key. So you have to try a variety of keys. And there's an image file you can decrypt, but you know it should start with a PNG. And so on. So there are a few things you can now decrypt binary files that are encrypted with the Caesar cipher, which is not terribly secure, but it is a way to obfuscate the contents.